What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Listen up. Welcome to Sean Anthony Live, and I'm joined with my brother, my good friend, Mr. Rodney Jackson. And me and Rodney, many of you guys know him as Big Keith or Keith Jones. We've done radio together for
Pretty
many
Ricky.
years, from Columbus, Ohio, to Detroit, Michigan, to Virginia. You know what I'm saying? So now we just gonna chop it up on some different subjects and just really let y'all in on some inside stories and talk about some things that we've experienced throughout our career. Lots of funny stuff. Plus, we're gonna talk about current events, man. First of all, what's up, Rodney? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. How you been doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Thank God. I'm doing better. I've been dealing with my back and all of that stuff, man. But I may stand up in the middle of this just in case things tighten up a little bit. But other than that, man, I'm here. What's popping?
Hey, I'm trying to stay out of trouble, man. That's all I'm trying to do. Trying to stay out of trouble and yeah, stay out of trouble.
What kind of trouble could you possibly get in? You're a grown man. You're an empty nester. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, what kind of trouble could you possibly produce? And real quick, let me just let my peoples know, Rodney is an established producer, and engineer now, man. And he's really doing his thing in the music world. So I'm just want to shout you out on that, man. I'm how proud of
appreciate
you
it, man.
I am. But yeah, but what kind of trouble can you get in, man? What's up?
I ain't trying to like, these cougars, man. These cougars be on me, man. These Sunday school teachers,
Wait a minute. The Cougars. Now, hold up. Now, we both.
bro.
You're a Puma. Why a Cougar after a Puma, man?
Man, I'm still, I'm still sweet, baby. I'm still in these streets. But yeah, these cougars be on me, man.
Still in these streets, man. Whatever.
Grandmamas be on me, bro. I got a message the other day. It was like, "Hello, Wani.
the
I look
grandma.
forward to come seeing you, Wani." I was like, "Oh,
It's funny you say that because I just left Urban One. We were doing hosting a job and recruitment fair, and there was some Cougars that was staring at me extra long, like just looking at me extra hard, like. And I was like, trying to avoid eye contact. I'm up here like, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?
yeah." I had one time ask me like, "So, baby, have you gotten you a PlayStation yet?" Like, no, I don't want one. Like, I felt like she was trying to run game on me. Like, that's not gonna cut it.
She asked you if you got a PlayStation yet.
Yeah,
That was the way to lure you in. Is that
I guess so. I guess that's the thing now. I guess what these older women be doing, they be, talking to these dudes, trying to get them in, in good graces by offering a PlayStation to them. But
I'm
nah,
so out the game. I'm so far out the game, man. I don't know what's going on. But you know what's unfortunate, man? Kevin Samuels passed away, man. Was that shocking or what,
it
man?
was it was the passing of Kevin was unexpected. Obviously, I didn't know Kevin personally. I don't think you did. Uh, but yeah, I was definitely caught off guard.
For someone, Rodney, that may not know who he was, how would you describe Kevin Samuels?
Kevin Samuels was a polarizing figure on social media. He had his claim to fame by a talk show that he created on YouTube that started to pick up some steam over the past couple of years. He's been around a little bit longer than what people think he has been. I think he first debuted in 2015, 2016, but over the past couple of years is where he's really started to pick up some steam and popularity.
He started his YouTube channel off of educating men about grooming and style, giving tips to men.
Yeah.
That's what it started off, and then as he evolved, it became talking about women. Well, educating women, I guess, per se, of how to get a what was his words? How to get a
High level,
high level.
high value man.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
how to get a high value man, and a lot of women didn't take some of the way that he delivered the message. They didn't like it. Some women did not like it at all because when you seen him passing, there was it was like 50-50. Some people were like, happy that he died, and then there were
which is
others
crazy.
that, yeah, which is really crazy in itself, man. But um, you watched some of his videos. Did you keep up with some of the things that he said, and how did you feel about some of the information that he would put out there?
I felt as though I want to say 90 to 95% of everything that he said I probably agreed with. I thought he was a breath of fresh air. We're always seeing black men being bashed, black men being put in, um, lights that are just not very, just not very accurate. I guess is a really the best word that I can choose. I I wouldn't call myself a Kevin Samuels follower. I didn't subscribe and listen in and tune in every week, but when I did catch different clips, I was like, wow, this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think if anything, what he said was was like some a lot of times when you deal with people, they give you some truth, but then they also wrap it in some sugar. He just was all medicine. And I think a lot of people just didn't really vibe with that. And if you were to just take away some of the rawness that he had, I think people would be like, I don't see what the problem is, because he's saying the truth. Essentially, what he was saying is that um, he was for black love, and I want to make sure that that's communicated. Like, he was not. I've heard I've had males and guys tell me that they didn't like him because he was bashing black women. That's no, he wasn't black. He was not. He loved black people. He loved black women. He loved black men. He was trying to actually bring black men and black women together. And what he essentially was saying was is that if you are a black woman or any woman, and you're single, um, you don't have to be. You let's kind of like look at your measuring stick and what it is that you are looking for. I had someone, and I've talked about this particular topic to quite a few women, and they've said things like, you know, I said, you have a really good job. You make anywhere between $90,000 to $100,000 a year. You meet this guy who is working at CVS. He's handsome. He's attractive. He's sweet. He's checks off all of the things that you would look for in a man, but he just may not necessarily have the income of which you're interested in. All across the board, 100% of them said they wouldn't be interested. And I'm like, that's interesting, because if the roles were reversed, men don't necessarily think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a man meets a girl who is just, trying to find her way or doing something, and, she checks off all the boxes, but she's trying to get it together and her finances is not together. Most men would, take a chance on that and, help her with her business, or help her develop an idea, or help her develop into who she wants to be a better woman. We haven't necessarily seen that same courtesy extended, when it's switched. So I thought that perspective was interesting.
So, did you find out what he passed away from?
He died of a heart attack, having sex. That's how you go out too. If you want to go out, you want to go out in some,
Is that true? Is
that
that
is
a
that is
fact?
the absolute truth. Yes, he died. Yeah. Yep.
Wow, I did not know that. I
Yep.
heard it was had to do like with cardiac arrest or something like that.
Yeah.
He,
Yep.
I don't believe you, man. What?
No, bro. I know you think I'm joking. That's it. That's how it happened, man. Yep.
Wow.
She
Ha-
he fell on top of her, and she was trying to revive him, and but yeah, he passed away. But he had been having chest pains, from what I read. He had been having chest pains throughout the day, though.
Mm,
Yeah. So
that's crazy, man. So, what's in your playlist right now? What's on your playlist, man? Who you listening to right now?
I'm always listening to Chris Brown. Uh, just different artists that I like. I want to work with. Um, Trey songs, of course.
Yo,
Eric Bell.
Trey ain't getting good pub right now, man.
I know, but he's still trigger. He's still trigger. Oh, probably.
I like how you pivot on that real quick. You don't want to touch on that?
Well, that's the homie. So I'm gonna stay away from that. But Eric Bellinger is I'm probably listening to Eric Bellinger more than anything right now.
Hmm.
And Kendrick Lamar. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
I
about
got.
to ask you, have you
Yeah,
listened to his new album?
yeah, I like it. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar is he's an artiste. He's definitely artistic for sure.
In every sense, man. I think like, his level, the albums that he has put out, man, is it's on another level. Like you
Yeah,
can't put Kendrick Lamar's albums, you can't even put him, period, on a level with all of these other artists. You know what I'm saying? Like
nah,
his album is a body of work. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like it's a body of work and it's an art. And I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate how he takes his lyricism and storytelling and utilizing the instrumentation and music and samples and hip and the different elements of hip hop and putting it in a big old pot of gumbo and
yeah,
taking other artists, you know, and other creators, you know, because when you know, I'm an album credit reader. I've always been. And when you look at the credits, there's a lot of contributors to each song, each and every song, whether it's from the producers, the composers, to the writers. And it just tells me that, you know, he's not in it for like just some boom bap, you know, or you know, making these hit songs. He's in it for making, curating a body of work to put out. And, you know, I can appreciate waiting what 4 or 5 years, however long it takes him in between to drop these albums. You know, I can appreciate this music that he's given us, man. If Lord forbid, if something were to happen to Kendrick Lamar today, like his albums would last. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? His albums would last.
And that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. And he puts a lot of thought into the creation. You know, the process of which that he creates music is just it's kind of like throwback in how he approaches it, where it's like there's a lot of thought put into it. A lot of artists today, you you send them a beat and they just kind of they hear it and they just start writing. I don't necessarily know if that's what his process is like, and I'm not, I don't know what his process is, but from hearing it, it doesn't sound like that's the way it is. From hearing it, it sounds that is as though that he listens to multiple different versions of it and comes up with like concepts. It's almost like he's got a storyboard. Like he's like listening to the track and he has like a storyboard, like kind of like a jigsaw puzzle, and it's like pieces and how he wants to puts it together. Because that's when I listen to it, that's how it sounds. It sounds like a puzzle, in a
And he
good way.
interchanges the music within one song.
Yeah,
Because I remember watching a clip of an interview with Ninth Wonder, and he was talking about how K. Dot reached out to him for his last for Kendrick's last album. He reached out to Kendrick to Ninth Wonder, you know, to send some tracks, and he sent them some, and he said he ain't hear nothing for like months later, and then all of a sudden they start hitting him up and asking him, you know, who sampled this? Where'd you get this sample from? You know, where'd you get that sample from? This kind of
that's
stuff.
when you know it's real.
Yeah, and you know, wanting to know, you know, where the sampling credits were, and then he figured out which tracks he was you know writing to, and he said it wasn't until the album was done that he heard it. And he said what surprised him now, and this is Ninth Wonder, and I'm paraphrasing. He said it wasn't until the album came out and how he used two of his tracks on the same song. And he was like, he was just blown away from that. You know, he thought it was going to be two different songs, but it was the same song and the beat changed in the middle and he went into another direction. But Kendrick Lamar has been doing that, you know, for you know, several albums. And it even happens on his new album too, man.
Yeah, it does. I think right now the one that I'm kind of like really getting into is the record "We Cry," which is like the little duet with the female artist. That's raw. Yeah, that's if you listen to that, young men and women, if you listen to that record and if your relationship sound like that, get out. I don't want no parts of that. That's toxic. But it was very enjoyable to listen to. It was very creative. I
It,
appreciated it.
it was really creative. The thing I love about that song is the emotion and the passion in the deliverance of those lyrics.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like they really fell into character.
yeah.
The female artist and Kendrick, they both fell into, and I feel bad. We need to give her credit, man. Whoever that artist is, what is her name?
I'm not sure.
Let me look it up real quick. What is it? We Cry, right? We Cry Together.
We cry.
Let's see. Taylor Page.
Taylor Page. Okay.
Have you ever heard of
Shouts-
her?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's Taylor Page. The emotion and passion that they deliver in that song, man, like you find yourself getting caught up in it emotionally and feeling those emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like your eyes starting to water. Like, why are my eyes sweating? you know,
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
is this is a deep song, man. And people that have had some sort of skin in the game with relationships and have experienced something like that, they can identify with having a very toxic relationship like that with someone where you going back and forth and demeaning each other and putting each other down to where you come back and then you make up, and it's a powerful song, man. And the thing about it that I appreciate, when I talked about it on Twitter, is how that song gave Kendrick Lamar the opportunity to say what he needed to say from a male perspective based off of what the female was saying. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And vice versa. You know, I don't know who all contributed writing that song, but it gave an opportunity for both artists to really go all the way in and say their rawest emotions through a song because they could respond to each other. You know
He
what I'm saying?
probably wrote the whole song though.
Huh?
He probably wrote the entire record. I wouldn't doubt it. You know, it's kind of like similar to K Solo. You remember when K Solo wrote all both parts, you know, the female part and the male part for I Got a Man? It was probably something like that.
That's not K Solo. That's I know what you're
Uh,
talking about.
shit.
I know what you're talking about. Positive K.
Positive K. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one, two, three, four, five, six lyricists on that song.
Hmm. Okay.
I like reading the credits on that, man. I love reading the credits on songs, man. But yeah, man, Kendrick Lamar, he's on another level. He's in a league of his own. Um, and it's just going to continue. Time will continue to tell how great he is, even though a lot of us know
Yeah.
how dope he is. But I think time will tell the longevity 10, 15, 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be regarded as, in the category of a Marvin Gaye, of a, you know what I'm saying? Like an artist that's just, of a Prince,
He's
you know,
special.
he's special. He's definitely unique, man. And especially special and unique. I know who's one of your favorite MCs, just got a Hall of Fame nod too. Eminem.
Eminem. Yeah, M is going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is just that's crazy. Like when you think about it, because there's a lot of other people that could potentially go, but I'm happy for him, man. Like that's so dope. That is so dope that he's going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, man.
Why do you think that's so dope? And why do you think people, don't, I don't know, some people just feel a certain kind of way about Eminem. How would you explain it?
Um, I think the thing that it's like he's first ballot. I think you have to. I don't know the gap or the window, the time frame, but of course he's first ballot.
I think it's 20 years after your first album.
20 years after your first album, he's still young. And let's keep it a buck, man. Like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame literally just started. At least it feels that way. Showing some more love to hip hop artists. There are a lot of people who I feel that could could be in there, but um, he's from Detroit, and I have a big place in my heart for Detroit. Anything that's coming out of the D, man. So um, I was definitely surprised and happy when I saw that for sure. Yeah,
Yo, I've said this to people numerous times throughout my life, but I grew up in New Jersey. You knew that, and I'm a big East Coast guy. Um, and you and I both have been in many, many cities across this country together, and apart. But Detroit has some of the fiercest MCs that I've ever encountered or ever heard, and I'm sure you can attest to that, right?
yeah. It's when we used to do the show in Detroit and we used to have the Friday night ciphers, I would put I would put those guys up against anybody in the country. Them dudes was raw, man. And they may not be as popular as, obviously some of the national acts, but I'm telling you right now, Detroit has some killers on the mic. I'm talking about like it's so funny, everybody knows about Big Sean. Sean and I, we met Big Sean when he was in high school.
Right,
Trying to figure out who he was going to take to prom. And
right.
he actually was a part of a rap group called SOS
The duo, right? Him
duo.
and Pat.
Him and Pat Piff,
Pat
and
Piff. And
they
Pat
were
Piff was nice.
uh, if in full transparency, I actually thought Pat Piff was the one that was gonna blow out the two of them. Because his voice was distinctive.
His voice was very distinctive. Yeah.
And I was like, yo, he was real. He was quick with the punchlines. He was real witty, and I was like, yo, this is if there's anybody that's gonna pop out of the two, my money was on Pat. But Sean has not let me down. Like Sean's wordplay has just been just ridiculous.
And he's always been, the one thing I love about Big Sean is like even back when he was young, when still in high school, rhyming with us at the station, he's like that one that's just slow and steady. You know what I'm saying? I'm great, but you may not see me now. I'm gonna be slow and steady. And he just kept refining it and refining it and refining it.
Yeah,
And that's how he was on the cipher. Everybody would be like, submit your Kobuju. I'm gonna pull out the AK and all the wordplay. And Sean would just come up, when it's his turn, and he just be simple, right there, wordplay, crisp and clean, articulate. With the wordplay though, and the puns and the metaphors, he just kept coming with it, man. Yeah, Big Sean. I'm like you too, man. I thought that Pat was going to be that one, but Sean, man, stood the test of time, man. And now
Sean
look
was
at him.
consistent.
Consistent.
And let that be a lesson to anybody trying to do anything, man. Like consistency is key. Sean was consistent. Like
And still is.
yeah, I never saw him like have a whack rhyme or have a bad song. Like he's just consistent, man. Like
Man, you
yeah,
look at what he did when he stood. He's got songs with Hove and Kanye, and he don't miss a step on any of those joints.
nah,
You,
not
you
at
know what I'm
all.
saying?
Yeah.
He don't miss a step on any of those joints.
Real quick funny story about that. So I remember um Sean was in the studio and he was so excited. I was like, man, what's up, man? What's going on? He was like, yo, man, I just came back from or no, he was getting ready to go to Paris. He was like, yo, Kanye want me to go with him overseas. And I was like, I'll be honest with you, I didn't believe him. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well,
Why
that's
didn't you
what's
believe him?
because this was really, 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 really early. This was like no music
But
was
but but
released.
but,
He
but
wasn't
what?
even signed yet. He wasn't even signed yet. Like this was
But he
like
had the Rockefeller
no,
chain.
this was way, way before any of that.
All
This
right.
was like very, very, very early. And I remember like he said it, and I remember like I don't know why, but I don't know. I was just kind of like I heard him, but I didn't really catch it. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, oh, okay, that's what's up. And he was really excited. And I didn't see him for like a few months, and then he came back up to the station, and he was like, "Yo, man, I went out there." I was like, "Word?" He was like, "Yeah, man, I got pictures." And he pulls out this camera, and he starts going through all these different photos, showing me like he was really with Ye overseas. I was like, this might be serious. I was like, okay, this is what's up. And then like not long after that, man, he got signed. So yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And just to think that we were there in the beginning, got a shout out to the Hype Squad, Sugar Ray and Lieutenant Dre. They lit that torch and then they passed it to us with
yeah,
that Friday Night Cipher. You know what I'm saying? And it was dope to really see so many dope MCs. Do you remember the time that Big Proof was in there? And it was a whole bunch of, we didn't even know Proof was in there because he stood in the back with his Kango, his bucket Kango, to real low, and he stood in the corner and he waited till all of these MCs, there's probably like 15, 20 MCs in there, and he waited all the way to the end and came out and just shut it down. Remember that?
I think that was the day Eminem got married too, because I think he was.
No, 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 no. The day that Eminem got married was a Saturday, and he came in by himself with the tuxedo on.
Oh, okay, okay.
Big Proof came straight from Eminem's wedding, tuxedo on, and I never forget. He said, throwing that game, we had the game instrumental. It was a new instrumental, a new beat, song from the game, and that instrumental was like 5.5 minutes long, and Proof rhymed over that entire track live on the radio. And
Okay.
I got that air check somewhere, man, in storage.
Can't
We
forget
got
about Mike Posner too, man.
we
Mike
cannot
Posner.
forget about Mike, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Posner he came around a little later, but he
Yeah.
was definitely in there and raised some eyebrows. It's like, who's this white kid about to, why is he in here? And he was working at the station, interning or what have you, but he came in and he lit that mic up and had everybody doing oohs and ahs, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
But I was surprised at the direction that he took his music.
I was too. Yeah, I was too. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more hip hop, but he ended up taking his music to a whole different direction, man.
Yeah.
We wrapping it up, man. We come running out of time, but I know you want to talk about the Young Thug and Gunna on those RICO charges real quick.
Yeah, man. Just whew, boy, that's a scary situation. Um, when you get wrapped up in RICO charges, man, those are very, very, very difficult cases to prove your innocence. They normally only bring down those types of charges when they just got like unbelievable hardcore evidence. That's why most people who get into like RICO charges, they take a plea deal.
Yeah,
Because if it goes if it goes, the distance, it is like very difficult to, uh, get out of RICO charges. Of course, for people who don't know, RICO charges were something that were created during the height of the mafia, because they couldn't get charges to stick on the mob because they were very clever. So they
mm-hmm.
had to come up with a system, which is crazy within itself. But they had to
Right.
come up with a law, specific laws, so that they couldn't get out of it. Which sounds weird because it's like if you're innocent and they hit you with RICO charges, it's like it's difficult to prove your innocence because the way the laws are written, So yeah,
Yeah,
basically so this is what's so difficult about RICO charges. If you're when they hit you with RICO, if you're innocent, what's the way it's like chess. If you uh convince a jury that you're innocent of one thing, then by default you're guilty of something else.
yeah, yeah. Hey, man, it's unfortunate all the way around for that brother and Gunna. Because apparently it stems back from several years ago. It's just unfortunate because he changed not only his life but his family's life, by becoming a millionaire, man. But it goes to show you that the things that you done that were not
Yeah.
and not good, it you got to reap what you sow. You're gonna reap what you sow, man. But it's still unfortunate. You don't want to see any black man going through that. But if it's some stuff that's gonna come out too, man, because apparently it had to do with some murders as well. Um, it's
Yeah,
it's
but
not
I don't,
looking
I
good.
don't, I don't know about that. I saw something that well, no, we ain't got much time, but yeah, I don't know. He's innocent until proven guilty. We'll see what happens.
So listen, let's wrap this up. Be sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Can we count it? We're gonna try to do this at least once a week, man. What do you
Yeah,
say?
yeah, let's do it, man.
Once a
Yeah,
week,
you
man.
know, my next time we hop on here, I may have some sand between my toes. You know, and
Okay.
ice cold Presidente. We'll see what
Okay.
happens. You know, so
Okay. All right. We're gonna talk more about that. How about we talk about sand between the toes
yeah.
next week, man? All right, Rodney, man. Don't forget
Peace.
to like and subscribe. Sean Anthony Live. Y'all be safe. Peace.